Hello everyone, this is Louis. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for checking us out. The purpose of this channel is to share some good information with you, and hopefully this will give you some positive energy to enjoy your day. Now today we're going to talk about what happens when a TFSA account holder dies. But before we do that, let's have a recap. What is TFSA? Well, TFSA stands for Tax-Free Saving Account. It was first introduced back in 2009. Even though the TFSA has helped Canadians sock away about $300 billion of tax advantage capital towards their retirement or any other special purpose event. But there's still a confusion exists about what is the best way to handle a TFSA account when the account holder dies. It depends on what the account holder wants. There are three options to handle the account upon the death of the account holder. The account can go to a successor holder, a beneficiary, or the estate. Now, if the account goes to the successor holder, then upon the death of the account holder, the account automatically transfers to the successor holder. According to the Canada Revenue Agency, a successor holder is a survivor who has been named in a TFSA contract or in the account holder's will. However, only spouses and common law spouses can be named as a successor holders. Brothers, sisters, parents, children, and friends can only be named as beneficiary on a TFSA account, but not as a successor holders. When the successor holder becomes the new owner of the deceased TFSA account, the value of the TFSA plus any income earned after the death of the spouse continue to grow tax-free without affecting the surviving spouse contribution room. However, the surviving spouse cannot take advantage of the unused contribution room in the deceased TFSA. It dies with the deceased account holder. Therefore, it is always important to top up your TFSA account. Back in 2009, when TFSA was first created, most paperwork didn't exist to name a spouse as a successor holder. Some financial institutions still has not updated their forms and often suggest that the spouse can be named as a beneficiary first and change it to the successor holder at the time of claim. No, that is not true. The beneficiary cannot change the status from beneficiary to successor holder at the time of claim. Only the original owner of the TFSA account could change this. The TFSA account holder can give the TFSA account to someone designated as a beneficiary. This can be their spouse, child, friend, or even a charity. The named beneficiary will receive the full value up to the day of death on a tax-free basis. Now, if the surviving spouse is only designated as a beneficiary and not as a successor holder, then the value paid out from the TFSA that has an increase in value after the account holder's death becomes taxable. A spouse named as a beneficiary cannot take advantage of a tax-free growth in the deceased TFSA. However, regardless of the surviving spouse's available contribution room, the surviving spouse is allowed to use the proceeds to make an exempt contribution to his or her own TFSA, regardless of the available contribution room. Now, this exemption is only available to a spouse and not to any other beneficiary. However, the growth in the value of the deceased TFSA after the death will affect the survivor's contribution room. In case the spouse predeceased the account holder can name the spouse as a successor holder and the children or anyone else named as a beneficiary. Now, you have to be careful. In Quebec, the account holders cannot designate a successor holder and a beneficiary unless the TFSA account is in a guaranteed investment fund or a segregated fund from an insurance company. If the TFSA account holders fail to name a successor holder or beneficiary, then the assets in the TFSA account are paid to the estate and distributed according to the will of the account holder, and it will be subject to probate fees. If there is no will, then the TFSA assets are paid out according to the provincial intestacy rules. But if the spouse is the beneficiary of the estate, then the spouse will still have the option to make an exempt contribution to their own TFSA without affecting their own unused contribution room. A lot of problems could be avoided when the account holder had designated a successor holder and or beneficiary for their TFSA account. You should check up on your own TFSA account and make sure that there is a successor holder and or beneficiary named properly in the account. As a reminder, the information contained in this video is for information and discussion purpose only. and should not be construed as legal, financial, or tax advice. You should always check on the current status of the law and consult your advisor accordingly. Well, that's all for today. I hope you find the information useful. And if you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Until the next time, take good care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Goodbye.